That there is little shop dog Abby. Hey, buddy. Come here. Come here. Hi. Say hi to everybody. Yeah, she's my buddy. She's a little blue merle, a mini. And wherever she goes, I go. If I go outside to the garage, she goes out there. She keeps me company all day. She doesn't talk. I do all the talking. I think she talks. You can tell. So anyway, what I finished up today is this half of the three-dimensional bluegill. And what I got going on now is I'm going to separate it from this wood block. This is on a piece of cardboard with 4 dots of glue I put on here, so I can actually sit here and I can rotate it and work on it and so on like that. I mean, this is how I do things. So I'm going to separate this. I'm going to figure out how to bed this into the box. A couple different ways I think I have imagined, and I'm going to figure out which way works best. So what else I got going on today is my wife bought me this organizational thing here. I've already got some paints and stains and stuff and whatever on here. Boat batteries are going down there. I don't know. We'll figure out. But then I got to move all this wood outside. This wood right here, I bought inside to actually dry out. It didn't feel right. So it's been sitting here for a few months. It's on the wider side of wood. It still has little dings in it, like these knots, and then that's a piece of a branch that came off. This is the best of the darker basswood that I have. So this is dry enough now where it can go outside. You can see that I got what, 2, 4, 6. I got 12 pieces I got to put outside. So I got to haul all these outside, figure this thing out, move this thing over here. Who knows how long that's going to take. I work like very slow because that's how I am, except when it comes to my boat, you know. So that's what I got going on. Oh yeah, I collect bells, you know. I have a U.S. Navy quarterdeck bell. I have my ship's bell. I got another brass bell. And this was like a store bell. So hey, if anybody has a bell, man, send it my way because I collect these things. That's it for right now, man. Let me get back to work. I wanted to show you a few things while I'm moving this stuff out here. You can see the annual rings here. These go this way, and these go this way. So when I carve something out, I want the rings this way. And you can see this would be about the dead center. This is okay. If there was a little pinpoint here, that would be what's called the pith cut. And that is not desirable because of how the wood warps. These rings, what they want to do is they want to straighten out. And you can already see it right here. There's a little bowl right here, and these rings they're trying to straighten out, so the wood's going to curve this way. So when I got this wood, I didn't inspect it. This was actually delivered, and this side, it looks okay, but in reality, let's flip this over. In reality, what we have here is, like, I could use this much of it. So this could be a fish maybe 10 inches long or 14 inches long, and I can use this piece of this crap end here as a leading edge. Here to here, this whole area here is all scrap, but not to me, because I could put a standalone bluegill here, a bunch of standalone bluegills, a standalone bluegill here, smaller, you know, so on and so forth. I mean, this is how I'm going to end up using this wood. This one is probably one of the worst ones, where it developed this crack right here, and it doesn't go all the way to the other side. And I wouldn't risk putting this on a piece that I send anybody, only because of this right here. But the wood that I have out there, out of I think this is an 8-foot section, maybe 9, 8. This is an 8-foot section of wood, like here. I could make one piece out of this section, a smaller piece, a few other smaller pieces out of here. So 3 to 4 pieces out of this piece of wood. Whereas if this was a clean piece of bright, I'll call it grade A basswood, I would say that I would probably get, let's say 1, 2, 3. I would utilize the entire board and maybe get 5 pieces out of. So there's a lot of extra scrap out of here where I do make these standalone bluegill pieces out of. And I'll show you an example later on this evening of a standalone piece that was out of a scrap piece of wood. But that's it for now. I got to get moving. What I got going on here is on the little fin here is kind of sharp. So I put on a Tyrannosaurus Rex Jurassic Park Band-Aid, and I'm heating this up with my wife's hair dryer. All right, let's see if this actually works. This is an experiment. Well, I would call that kind of a success. I wish this was a little more sucked in there, but it's formed in, and this is going to be used to shield it, so I can probably address this up later. See what happens. Here's the jig I made yesterday. I said this before, I'm not a wood whittler. I work on the bench, and this is my solution to making a 3-dimensional piece, or they call it in the round. So this is a Bondo, and this is spray foam. This stuff was just terrible. If I ever do something like this again, I'll figure something else out. But here's the fish, and I cut the background out, and I did a little bit of work on this thing. So this is how she fits in here. Fits in here really nice. In fact, it fits in better with a piece of paper towel. Now there's a little more surface area, a little more grip. And this is how I've been working on this thing. So the shape is coming along. It's a little fat on the unfinished side, but I'll do some carving. I'll take it out and I'll just scan it and figure out some more pieces that got to come off. You know, because you can see right here, this has got to come down a little more. Other than that, this thing is coming along really nice. I want to keep this thing one piece of wood. I don't want to be a cheater and then make the body, you know, sand it and do all this other stuff and then glue stuff on here. I want this to be one piece of wood. That's kind of how I work. So there we go. This thing is coming along. I'm going to set this aside. I'm getting kind of frustrated working on this thing. It's not the easiest thing to work on. So in order for it not to go into the fire pit after being axed, I'm just going to set this aside and work on something else for a minute.